I was taking out the trash when I saw it. Crimson paper twisted between coffee grounds and eggshells, the Harvard shield still visible through the stains. My hands shook as I pulled the fragments from the bin, piecing together what I already knew in my gut. The acceptance letter I'd been waiting for since I was 12 years old, shredded into careful strips like my father had enjoyed every rip. Harvard? You. His laughter from this morning still echoed in my ears. Stop dreaming above your station, Amelia. Some people are meant for community college. Some people know their place. My mother had nodded from the kitchen table, not even looking up from her crossword. Your father's right. All this reaching will only lead to disappointment. They'd taken my mail, opened my future, destroyed it, and laughed. My name is Amelia Chun, I'm 18 years old, and I've been living a lie my entire life. Not my lie, theirs. The lie that I was average, unremarkable, destined for nothing greater than the local state school and a life of careful mediocrity. What they didn't know was that Harvard didn't just accept me. They'd been recruiting me for 2 years. I smoothed out the largest piece of paper, my acceptance letter's opening still legible. Dear Ms. Chun, it is with great pleasure that we offer you admission to Harvard College's class of. The rest was torn, but I didn't need to read it. I had the email saved in a secret folder. The calls from admissions officers on my burner phone. The scholarship offers they didn't know about because I'd had everything sent to my teacher's address. But this, the physical letter, was supposed to be my proof. My vindication. The moment I could finally show them that their daughter wasn't just dreaming above her station. She was soaring above it. Now it was garbage, like everything else I'd ever achieved in their eyes. The house was quiet when I went back inside. Dad was in his study, probably writing another letter to the editor about participation trophy culture and kids these days expecting handouts. Mom was watching her afternoon shows, the volume loud enough to drown out any ambition that might dare creep into the house. I climbed the stairs to my room, my cell, really. Bare walls because decorations are distractions. No computer because the library has those. No dreams because dreams were for other people's children. But they'd made one mistake. They'd raised me in their shadow, teaching me to be invisible, to hide, to survive on nothing. They just never expected me to use those skills to escape. I pulled out my burner phone, bought with tutoring money they didn't know I earned, and dialed the number I'd memorized but never used. Harvard Admissions, Dean Morrison's office. This is Amelia Chun. I need to speak with Dean Morrison. Tell him it's about the Chun scholar. The pause was brief. One moment, Ms. Chun. He's been expecting your call. Expecting. Because while my parents were busy telling me I was nothing, Harvard had already named a scholarship after me. Amelia. Dean Morrison's voice was warm, concerned. We've been trying to reach you. The acceptance deadline is tomorrow, and we haven't received your response. Is everything all right? I looked at the shredded letter in my hand. There's been a family situation. I see. Well, I want to assure you that your place is secure. Full scholarship, housing, the research position with Dr. Kumar, it's all waiting for you. The Chun Scholar Program was created specifically for students like you. We've been following your work since your sophomore year paper on genetic modification in cancer cells. The paper I'd written at the library because home had no internet. The paper my parents had called a waste of time when I'd missed dinner to finish it. Dean Morrison, I said carefully, what would happen if my parents were preventing me from accepting? The silence stretched. Then quieter. Amelia, are you safe? Define safe. Are you being physically harmed? No. Just. I looked at the shreds. Just erased. I see. In that case, we have protocols. You're 18? Since last month. Then you don't need parental permission. Can you get to campus? I have no money. No car. No. Amelia, listen to me. The Chun Scholar Fund includes emergency provisions. I can have a car there in 3 hours. Pack what you need. We'll sort the rest later. I should have felt relief. Instead, I felt rage. Pure, crystalline rage that they'd almost stolen this from me. That they'd have let me believe I was rejected rather than celebrated. Dean Morrison? I need one more thing. Anything. I need you to call my parents. On speaker. In about an hour. He paused. May I ask why? Because they need to know exactly what they tried to throw away. I spent the next hour gathering my life into a single backpack. My hidden transcripts. The bank account information for the savings they didn't know about, $3,000 from years of tutoring, babysitting, writing papers for college students who paid cash. Then I did something else. I went to my father's study and took back what was mine. He kept a filing cabinet of family disappointments. Every B+ I'd ever gotten. Every time I'd been second instead of first. He thought it was motivation. Really, it was just cruelty documented. But buried beneath my failures were my successes. The ones he'd hidden. Science fair victories he'd never attended. Academic achievement awards he'd thrown away before I could see them. Letters from teachers begging them to let me apply to better schools. And at the very bottom, a letter dated 2 years ago. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Chun, your daughter Amelia is extraordinarily gifted. Her SAT scores place her in the 99.9th percentile. Her research shows graduate-level thinking. I'm begging you to reconsider your decision about college applications. She could attend any university in the world. Please don't limit her future. It was signed by my AP chemistry teacher, the one who'd suddenly stopped talking to me junior year. Now I knew why. They knew. They'd always known. The house phone rang at exactly 4 p.m. I answered on speaker in the living room, my parents looking annoyed at the interruption. Chun residence. Mr. and Mrs. Chun? This is Dean Robert Morrison from Harvard University. I'm calling about your daughter Amelia. My father's face went through several colors. If this is about tuition, we've already told her. Actually, I'm calling to ask why Amelia hasn't accepted her full scholarship. The Chun Scholar Program covers all expenses for 4 years, plus a living stipend and research fund. The silence was beautiful. I'm sorry, my mother's voice cracked. The what? The Chun Scholar Program. We created it specifically for Amelia after her groundbreaking research on genetic markers. It's quite prestigious. Only one student has ever been offered naming rights on their scholarship while still in high school. Your daughter, in fact. I watched my father's hands shake. The same hands that had shredded my letter. There must be a mistake, he stammered. Amelia's a B student. She's planning on community college. Dean Morrison's laugh was sharp. A B student? Mr. Chun, your daughter has the highest GPA in Massachusetts. Her research has been cited in 3 peer-reviewed journals. MIT and Stanford were in a bidding war for her. She chose Harvard because of our genetics program. My mother sank into her chair. But she never told us. Actually, I spoke up, stepping into view. I tried. Remember sophomore year when I said I was doing well in school? Dad said grades didn't matter for girls. Remember junior year when I won the state science fair? Mom said I was getting too big for my britches. Remember last month when I told you Harvard was interested? You laughed. Amelia? Dean Morrison's voice sharpened. Are you all right? I'm perfect, I said, looking at my parents' shattered faces. Just packing. The car will be here soon. Within the hour. And Amelia? We've been holding your lab space. Dr. Kumar is eager to start the cancer research project whenever you're ready. Cancer research? My father's voice was small. But I have cancer. You knew that. You were researching. Genetic markers in hereditary cancers. Yeah, I was trying to save your life. I picked up my backpack. Guess that was dreaming above my station too. The call ended. The silence stretched. Then my father did something I'd never seen. He crumbled. Amelia, wait. We didn't know. You knew exactly who I was. You have a file of evidence in your desk. You just couldn't stand that your daughter might surpass you. We were protecting you. My mother stood, tears streaming. The world is cruel to smart women. We wanted you to have normal expectations, a normal life. You wanted me to have your life. Small. Controlled. Limited. I headed for the door. But here's the thing about limits. They only work if the person believes them. You can't just leave. Dad moved to block me. You're our daughter. No. I'm Harvard's Chun Scholar. I'm Dr. Kumar's research assistant. I'm the girl who's going to cure the cancer you mocked me for studying. I stepped around him. I'm everything you tried to prevent. The car arrived as I reached the sidewalk, a black town car with a Harvard shield in the window. The driver loaded my single bag like it was precious cargo. My parents stood on the porch, looking older than I'd ever seen them. Looking small. Amelia, my mother called. What do we tell people? I paused at the car door. Tell them the truth. Tell them your daughter got into Harvard. Tell them she earned a full scholarship. Tell them she's named a whole program after your family. I smiled coldly. Tell them you threw it all in the trash. Will you ever forgive us? Dad's voice broke. Maybe. When you need the cure I'm developing. When you realize that the daughter you tried to limit might be the only thing standing between you and death. I got in the car. I'll send you my research. Try not to throw it away this time. As we pulled away, I didn't look back. But I did pull out my phone and update my social media for the first time in years. Harvard bound. Full scholarship. Cancer research starting fall. Thanks to everyone who believed in me when my family wouldn't. Within minutes, it had hundreds of likes. Comments from teachers who'd fought for me. From classmates who'd wondered why I was settling for community college. From the counselor who'd secretly helped me apply. But the comment that made me smile was from Dr. Kumar. The lab is ready when you are. Let's change the world. My parents had spent 18 years telling me to know my place. Turns out, my place was at the top. And the view from Harvard was going to be spectacular. The driver glanced at me in the mirror as we hit the highway. Rough goodbye. No, I said, watching my hometown shrink behind us. Just overdue. He nodded. Well, Ms. Chin Scholar, where to first? I thought about the boy from my chemistry class whose sister had the same cancer my father did. The one I'd promised to help once I had resources. Boston Children's Hospital, I said. I have research to deliver. Because that's what you do when you stop living down to expectations and start living up to your potential. You get to work. And you never, ever look back at the people who tried to throw your dreams in the trash. Even if those people share your DNA. Especially then.